All right, let's jump right in. We're seeing a really massive shift happening in the world of customer service. And you know what's driving it? A simple fact. Customers like you and me, we have more choice and a bigger voice than ever before. So, companies are being forced to move away from just being fast to being fundamentally human. Today, we're going to explore how businesses are starting to measure something you think is unmeasurable: empathy.
We've all been there, right? You're stuck in some chat queue or on hold forever, and you just feel like you're another case file to be closed. It's so frustrating and impersonal, and it's the exact problem that this whole new way of thinking is trying to solve.
And this slide, wow, it just lays out the whole conflict perfectly. The old way was basically a race against the clock. It was all about efficiency, speed, how many tickets you can close. But the new way, it completely flips the script. The focus is now on human connection, on actually solving the customer's problem, and letting agents be real problem solvers, not just robots reading a script.
So, this brings us to the very heart of the idea, treating empathy as a new key performance indicator or KPI. We're moving beyond a world that's obsessed with stopwatches and into one that actually values genuine human understanding.
And let's be super clear here, this isn't just about being nice for the sake of it. No. This is a full-on business strategy that redefines what success even looks like. A successful interaction isn't just a closed ticket anymore. It's one where the customer feels genuinely heard and understood. It's about creating a real quality connection.
Okay, so here's the question I'm sure is on your mind. How on earth do you put a number on a feeling? I mean, it sounds kind of impossible, right? But this is where strategy and technology come together in a really fascinating way. Let's see how it works.
It's not magic. It's a very deliberate three-step process. First, you invest in your people. You train them in emotional intelligence, or EQ. Then, you bring in the right tools, tech that can actually analyze language for emotional cues. And finally, you take all that new data and analyze it to get a crystal clear picture of the quality of your customer conversations.
And this slide shows us exactly how they do it. The metrics aren't vague at all. You've got CSAT scores, which are a direct line to what the customer thinks, and then you have something called a sentiment score, where AI tools can listen to a call or read a chat and flag whether the customer seemed frustrated or happy or just neutral. This is literally how empathy gets turned into real, actionable data.
Okay, so we know how it's measured, but let's get to the bottom line here. Is there a real payoff to all this? I mean, does focusing on empathy actually deliver real results for the business?
Well, first, let's just start with the human impact. This quote, it says everything. The customer wasn't just happy their problem was fixed. They were happy because they felt validated. That feeling of being genuinely heard, that's incredibly powerful. And that powerful feeling, it translates directly into some seriously powerful business results. A 33% increase in customer retention, that is huge. Customers who feel understood don't just walk away satisfied, they stay loyal. And these results aren't just in one little corner of the business world. Just look at this. It works across totally different industries. A big retail giant boosts its satisfaction scores by 15% just by training agents in emotional intelligence. A tech firm sees a 20% drop in angry customer escalations, and a telecom company gets a 10% bump in loyalty. This proves it's not some niche strategy. It just works, period.
Of course, there's an investment. You can see on this chart, there are some short-term costs for things like training and new technology. But just look at the comparison. The long-term gain you get from customer loyalty and their lifetime value, it absolutely dwarfs that initial cost. It's a classic case of investing a little now for a much, much bigger payoff down the road.
So what does this all mean for the future? We're not just talking about a passing trend here. This is a fundamental rethinking of the entire relationship between a business and its customers.
When you boil it all down, the takeaway is actually pretty simple. We have all this amazing technology at our fingertips, right? From AI to advanced analytics. But its best use isn't to build walls between people. It's to help us understand each other better, to support and even scale that essential human connection.
And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. Whether you run a business or you're just a customer yourself, in this age of automation, is the way we're communicating still fundamentally human?
So, as Customer Care Day comes around, let's maybe take a moment to celebrate the teams on the front lines, the people who aren't just closing tickets, but are working every single day to make sure we all feel a little more heard.